get out of your fucking head right now. You're scrolling, you're doing whatever the fuck. If you clicked on this link to watch this video, you probably weren't in the most mindful state. You're like, oh, what the fuck does this guy have to say? But before that, you were likely on social media. You were likely, getting flustered by a bunch of, pictures, by a bunch of two-dimensional figures on your screen that aren't even real. Look at your phone sideways right now. Isn't that fucking crazy? It's not real, bro. It's literally like, it's a fucking hallucination. It's holograms, bro. They're just being projected. This shit on the mobile phones, on the devices, the modern social media age is cooked, guys. Obviously, no shit, it's fucking cooked. Everybody knows it's cooked. But how the fuck do you actually get out of the mindset and get out of the frequency that these fucking devices tune you into? I mean, they're literally like antennas. Like, think about it this way. This little fucking radio device in your hand, it's grabbing, it's connecting to a certain frequency and downloading information, and then it's transmitting it to you, and you, like another antenna, you're interpreting the frequency and tapping into it in order to interpret the frequency. So that's a mouthful of words, and nobody gives a fuck, I bet, but that's the reality of it. And the unfortunate thing about phones and the unfortunate thing about technology is that it gets you in your head. And when it gets you in your head, you're like nerfed. You're basically nerfed. You're like 5% of the type of person that you actually are. Your awareness, your presence, your energy, your self-expression, your authenticity gets nerfed to 5%. Why? Maybe not for everybody, but for most people. At least it did for me. Why? Because you get in your head. Why is that bad? When you're in your head, you're wrestling with your thoughts. And you're only focused on your thoughts. You're not focused mindfully, presently on the objective reality right in front of you. I'm in this room with the fucking Buddha character behind me. Right in front of me is a beach. That's the objective reality. But if I sit here and I'm attached to my thoughts and I'm thinking about my thoughts in my head, I'm literally placing my attention into a different world. Now, why is that cooked? Why is that so bad? Well, because that different world that you're placing your attention onto has been programmed by the exact device that you're fucking staring at right now. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you tune into the frequency that this device is transmitting. So let's say you're scrolling and you're comparing yourself to people, you're looking at empty entertainment, you're looking at cheap dopamine, you're literally interpreting and becoming one with whatever you're watching for the period of time that you're watching it. And that infiltrates into your mind. So now you take a step back, what actually happens and what the actual fucked up thing is that your mind is being infiltrated by this information, and then you get stuck in your head, focusing on the information, focusing on these triggers, traumas, bullshit that got infiltrated in your mind, instead of focusing on your objective reality, the very present moment that you're in right now. And you're literally in a mental prison. I don't want to be cliche and say Matrix and all that bullshit, but you're literally in a mental fucking prison. Because, I explained it, G. So how the fuck do you get out of it? How do you get out of it? A lot of people do it unconsciously. A lot of people don't actually understand why certain practices, certain habits, certain things that they partake on a weekly basis feel so good, or why they enjoy doing them so much, like working out, maybe even going out socializing, maybe playing a sport, maybe whatever hobby it is that gets them in a flow state. But the truth is that the very present moment, mindful awareness, body awareness, full awareness of the five senses outside of the head, outside of being stuck in your head, that is a superpower. That is called the flow state. That is, talked about by a lot of people. Eckhart Tolle, a bunch of philosophers, all these Buddhist, Taoist people talk about it. Presence, knowing yourself is talked in the Bible, being in the present moment, being aware, being conscious. And the way that you access that is through actually, instead of concentrating your awareness on your thoughts, it's zooming out and feeling where you are and being who you are in the moment right now. It's mouthful of words. Like I said before, there's going to be a lot of mouthfuls in this video. Pause. But Long story short, why am I getting spammed with messages? That is annoying. Stop spamming me with messages. That is annoying. Long story short, the way that you actually get outside your head and get into your present awareness and step into that authentic version of yourself, step into the true version of yourself that's no longer programmed by social media, that's no longer constantly being barraged by random information that's infiltrating your mind and keeps you in a fucking prison that you can't get out of, is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness, what is that? Being aware of your mind. You're being mindful of your mind. You're being mindful of your thoughts. You're being mindful of your body. You're actually flooding your body, you're flooding yourself with awareness, the entirety of yourself, not just your head, not just concentrating all of your attention on these fucking fake thoughts that have been programmed into your head through looking at this fucking algorithm at the screen. You're actually flooding yourself with awareness and observing wholeheartedly, entirely where you are at right now. In this moment, where are you? Take a deep breath. Smell it. What does your room smell like? Observe that. Feel the senses, literally feel your body. Feel your body, rub on your legs. What sounds are happening? Observe them. What taste do you have in your mouth? What did you eat? Look around you. Where are you right now? Slow down. Now, what I want you to do is for the next however long, you can pause this video, but try to focus on your breath. And while you're doing that, you're gonna notice a lot of thoughts flying past. Oh, this is stupid, I'm gonna turn this off. Just do it as a little experiment. Take 2 minutes, pause this video, and breathe in for 3 seconds, breathe out for 6 seconds. And in between, hold it for 3 seconds. So breathe in. And just focus on doing that for 2 to 3 seconds. And what you're gonna notice is that you've been in autopilot for however long period of time since your last flow state or since your last truthful presence outside of the fucking chatterbox in your head. And this sort of practice you can apply into anything that you're doing. The mindfulness, breathing, all of those techniques, they're just kind of like, it's like practicing the muscle of mindfulness. It's like remembering how to be human again, remembering how to be in the moment again. It's something that you definitely need to do in order to regain the control and awareness of your mind and of your body. However, as you progress, you can start implementing this sort of awareness into all areas of your life. And what you'll notice is that as you implement this sort of awareness into all areas of your life, you're literally expanding your awareness towards all areas of your life. Now, I just repeated what I said, but what does that actually mean? You can actually see objectively why each area of your life is good or bad. You're no longer just reacting and being emotional about everything that you're fucking doing. Any problems that you have, if you just practice some mindfulness and awareness and you take a step back and observe the problem, any problems that you have, you can objectively see it without any biases, emotions attached, without any stupid fucking thoughts flying around in your head. What is this problem? What actually is this problem? Or what's really good here and what should I do more of? And this applies to business, this applies to relationships, this applies to fitness, this applies to everything. Just taking a step back. So this video kind of went all around full circle, full loop, but that is exactly taking a step back, focusing on your senses, getting back into your body. That is exactly how you expand your awareness outside of the craziness going on in your head. And I'm sure there's probably somebody watching. If you're watching this long, you've already been tapped into mindfulness and being more aware, and you don't need like super basic practices. But bro, sister, whoever's listening to this, like, Just fucking the basics, man. The basics. That's all you got to do. And I'm making this as a note to myself as well. Just the fucking basics. That's all you got to do. With each level up, you need to step back and lean back into the basics. And the people with the strongest basics foundations in life and in any area, if you have the best basics even in business, or if you have the best basics in relationships or fitness, whatever, if you just stick on to that golden baseline for long enough, you're ahead of fucking everybody. You're beyond the 0.001%. Because everybody taps out. Everybody knows the right things to do, but everybody taps the fuck out. And that's what I've seen. I've seen so many people drop like flies in the whole, online business game. People just like, they're either fake doing shit, they're either fake working, or people dropping like flies even in like fitness goals, or people dropping like flies in anything. I mean, really. Nobody can stick to anything. And this is probably the most important thing that you can stick to. Because this transcends any one tactic, gimmick, or skill that you're trying to grow on. This expands your awareness, expands your perspective, your worldview on every single thing in your life. So if you're not actively practicing mindfulness, taking a step back at least a few times a day, outside of, oh yeah, I'm working out, yeah, that's my therapy for the day. Well, yeah, that's cool, bro. That's good. Get into the motion. But if you can't step back and you're stuck in a different loop that you created for yourself, then ultimately, eventually, you're going to run into blocks. And if you don't know, if you don't make that, if you don't train that muscle of actually taking a step back, then maybe not now, but when you get to the next level, you'll be stuck for, an extended period of time for no reason. When all you have to do was just make it a habit to be mindful. Make it a habit to observe. Observe, man. But yeah, that's kind of the message for this video. Get out of your fucking head. Get into your body. Feel your body. And yeah, much love. God bless.